What's up, people? Um, I wanted to talk about home. I made the post a little bit earlier, and I know it took more than a couple of hours, but I just wanted to talk about this because I see and have seen for quite some time the negligence, I guess I could say, or the overlooking, or the lack of value in home or for home. And as a conscious Cancer sun sign, home for me is extremely important. I think it's extremely important for everyone, to varying degrees, obviously, because some people like to travel, some people like to wander, some people like to be nomads. But as well as myself, I kind of have a balanced thing about my own energy and the way that I live. I'm kind of a nomad, I'm kind of a wanderer, but at the same time, home is really big. So now that I'm seeing everybody out here living under quarantine, right, I am noticing that a lot of people really struggle with staying at home. My fellow Cancers will understand. For us, it's like I'm a homebody. I'd love to be at home, but as a truck driver, I'm out here working and feeding people, or I won't say feeding people, but bringing the food to the stores so that everybody can eat. And I actually take a little bit of pride in that and being able to serve people in that way. But I have this view of how everybody's like restless and can't seem to sit still, that can't seem to stay in the house, while everyone is asking people to stay where they're at so that we don't spread this virus, right? And I don't think we realize what is happening here. It's deeper than just stay at home so you don't spread the coronavirus. It's much deeper than that. For me, to me, what we're being asked to do is not to stay at home and not spread the coronavirus. What we're being asked to do is to sit down in what should be our most comfortable space, to sit still in what should be our most desired place to be, and rest, relax. But I see the opposite. I see people panicking. I see people worrying. I see people stressing. I see people going outside and doing all sorts of things. And to me, it's indicative of a deeper problem. It's not just about the physical place that we call home. That's part of it. But everything in the physical begins in the spiritual. As above, so below. And so when I see people not able or unable to stay at home, to sit still, to watch, right? To observe, to wait, be patient. To me, it means that there is the absolute opposite of that. a lack of patience, a lack of the ability to watch, the ability to observe, the ability to sit still. And that begins on the inside. That begins where, we have not been practicing watching ourselves. We have not been practicing observing our own thoughts and emotions and all of these kinds of things. Like, home is, it begins inside of the self first. If you don't feel at home in here, you'll never feel at home in your house. If you don't feel at home in here, you'll never feel at home in your house. You'll always want to go outside for comfort, to go outside into external sources for, to de-stress, to let your hair down, to allow yourself to relax. You'll always look to external substances to relax, to calm down, to, all of these things. You'll always look to some sort of substance, whether it's alcohol or, weed or whatever. And I'm not speaking against these things. I've partaken in these things before. But what I'm saying is that where it needs to begin with us, we're stir crazy. We've gone stir crazy trying to be around our own children. Like, what this whole crisis that we're in, right? To me, is showing us how much of our society is or does not work, or how it's revealing to us that we don't even know what family is supposed to be like. We don't know what home is supposed to be like. We send our children out to go and be taught by someone else who may not even share the same values as ourselves. We send our spouses, or our, if you're living with your parents, or whatever, depending on how old you are, we send everybody out to work. We send them out to learn. We send them out for all these different things, and don't realize that most of our time, most of our children's time, is spent outside of the confines of where love is supposed to be most present. Home is where love is supposed to be. Home is supposed to be the place where that holds us together. Home is supposed to be the place, the glue. When we come back from being out in the world, we're supposed to be able to relax and rest and recharge and all of these kinds of things. Like, this is a wake-up call, in my opinion. I'm jealous, if I can use that word, right? I wish I could be at home where you guys are. But at the same time, I'm grateful because I work in a profession that is absolutely needed right now to continue to feed and provide supplies for people, right? But like, I miss home. Like, I feel like crying. And I have been feeling this way for the last 8 years since I became a truck driver. But I've learned, and I'm also a very individualistic kind of person, and I understand that I need alone time. But at the same time, it's like, home is the most important thing in my entire life. If I could be with my children the way that most of you are with your children right now, no complaints from me. If I could be with my significant other the way that most of you are with your significant other right now, no complaints. And so I think it's a matter of a shift in perspective, a big shift in perspective, because a lot of people, it just seems like there's no gratitude. It seems like there's no understanding of how important it is to feel comfortable at home, to even have a home, right? Some people are even homeless, but to even have a home, have a place that you can go to that feels safe. That's what home is about. It's about safety. Not the physical place only, but the inner safety, where you feel safe with yourself, safe expressing your own feelings, safe expressing your own thoughts, safe expressing your creativity, safe. It's like a nest that you go to. It should be a place of safety for your children. They shouldn't want to go to school to get away from their parents. Yes, there's a natural thing about that where when we're growing up, what is normal to us, our parents, is like, oh, I want to go see my friends, or I want to go see somebody else and experience something different. I get that part. But it still should be a place of safety. It still should be a place where we can spend an unlimited amount of time and not feel like we're going crazy, and not feel like we can't live. Home is, I hope for most of you who are quarantined right now, home is or should become a more important place, a more important thing to build. We need more focus on can't think of the word right now, but the institution, I guess, of home. It's not really an institution, but we need more focus on that. We need more focus on the way our home feels. The furniture, the walls, the artwork, the pictures. For my more spiritually inclined friends, the altars and shrines, and all of these kinds of things. Like home should feel like home. It should feel like a place that does not drain us. And so I just wanted to share that. I really feel like the great mother, father, creatrix is putting us in this place to cause us to reevaluate, to recalibrate what is most important. Because we have been finding that what is most important, we have been thinking that what is most important is outside of the home. But then people at your job, they don't love you like the people at home. The people at whatever place you want to go to, the strip club, the grocery store, the whatever. They don't love you like the people at home. And I know that some of us have scenarios and situations that are not very pleasant. But that, again, that also is creating a reevaluation of what home should be like. If you're in a place where you've got an abuser, or you don't feel safe, or you don't feel loved, or you don't feel comfortable, if it's not because you don't feel comfortable with yourself, and it's all because of somebody outside of you that lives in your home that causes you to feel uncomfortable, then you have to reevaluate, is that really your home? Is that really where you want to stay? Is that really where you want to call your place of safety? Is that really what you want to call your place where you recharge and relax and find your healing, because home is a place of healing as well. And if it's not, you got to make some changes. We all have to make changes, but just maybe in different areas. We either have to make changes in who we live with, who we call home, because home can be a person as well. Home can be a person or people. Home can be your children. If those people don't feel like home, you shouldn't be with them. You shouldn't be staying there. If your house doesn't feel like home, you shouldn't be staying there. And if everything around you, your physical house, the people in your family, the people that you live with, if those things feel like home and they are all okay, then, and you still feel uncomfortable, then it's here. You've got to learn to live at home within yourself. You've got to learn to live at home within your own psyche, within your own heart, and realize there are things about myself that I gotta get rid of, that I gotta change, that I gotta work through, so that I don't feel like I'm not at home within my own body, so that I don't feel like I can't rest with myself, like I can't live with myself. That's a dualistic consciousness. What part of you is saying I can't live with myself, and what part of you is the myself that you can't live with? They need to be congruent. They need to be in harmony. And if your spirit is bothered, if your spirit is vexed, if your spirit is not comfortable with the rest of you, that's an indicator that you're not at home yet. The way that you think is not home. That's an indicator that the way that you think is not the way that you are supposed to think. It's an indicator that the way that you think is programmed by things outside of your home. That you've been conditioned by society, who's telling you this is the way you're supposed to be. This is the way you're supposed to act. This is the way what you're supposed to like. This is what you're supposed to do, etc., etc., etc. And in those actions, you don't feel like yourself. You don't feel like home. You feel like your identity is in competition with your spirit. Your conscious mind is in competition with where your spirit wants you to be. Gotta find that alignment. Gotta find that alignment. One of the declarations that I do every day now is that my thoughts will be in alignment with my heart's desires, which will be in alignment with my appetites, which will be in alignment with my work and my pursuits. It's important, because if we're not in alignment, what is home? Who am I? Am I thinking on the same level that I'm feeling? Am I feeling on the same level that I desire? Am I thinking and feeling and desiring on the same level that I'm actually working? Is it congruent with the actions that I'm putting in my life? Home, 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 home. Home. It's important. The physical place, the mental place, the emotional place, the spiritual place. It's all got a home. It's all got a place that should be giving you everything you need to go out into the world and conquer. To go out into the world and take hold of what you were destined to do, destined to experience, destined to accomplish. If you don't feel that, it's time. This is what Spirit is saying. It's time to reevaluate. It's time to recalibrate. It's time to realign yourself, your home, your physical home with your spiritual home. The physical place you live, the physical people that you live with your spiritual home. Home should be where you feel fed. Home should be where you feel re-energized. It should be. Doesn't mean that it is for you. And I'm crying because I want to be at home. I want to be at home. It allows me to go out and do the work that I do. Some of us have spouses at home that we don't even want to see. Some of us have children at home that we don't even want to be around. Why is that? Those children are a reflection of you. You are teaching them. You should be teaching them how to live, how to act. But they carry your DNA, your genetics. They're showing you parts of yourself. They are a mirror. Reevaluate your home in every facet of your life. Your spiritual home, mental, your emotional, your physical body. If your physical body doesn't feel like home, maybe you got to do some working out. Maybe you got to eat different. Maybe you got to do something that would allow you to feel like you're not trapped inside of the weight, or trapped inside of the sickness, or trapped inside of whatever physical ailment you might have. It's going to take some work. But I want you to know that this that is happening right now is teaching you. It's teaching us how important home is. This moment right now, this quarantine, is teaching us. It's teaching us. It's always teaching us. It's telling us that we need to change some things, to shift some things on a fundamental level. Fundamentally. There's so many people out here who are not happy. There's so many people out here who are not happy at home. The place where you sleep at night, where you're most vulnerable. Unhappy. It's not home. And if it's not home, you gotta shift that, man. Make plans. Begin to move toward making your home, in whatever facet that you have to, more in alignment with the rest of your life, with the rest of your being. And watch what happens. Watch what happens. I love y'all. Remember that home is important. Family is important. Your mother, your father, they're all important. If you have any grudges with your home that you've been holding on to, whether that's your spouse, your mother, your father, your children, fuck that shit, man. Get rid of it. Let it go. It's not important. It's in the past. Talk it out. No matter how hard it is, talk it out. Fix home. Fix home. Fix home. And let it bless you. I'm out.